It says we're live. It's an all new edition of the comments. No one's on just yet, but it's letting everybody know we're here. So you guys come on in, have a seat. Oh, like our good girlfriend Aunt Wendy used to say, grab a snack and come on back. Oh, all right, look, our guy is ready today. Come on now. Girl, hey Joseph Jones. All right, we're bringing my guy on. Hello, hello, Shannon Salsa. How you doing, baby girl? Hopefully you are a baby girl because I can't see the photo. All right, wait, Dex, come on. Now, I know I hit the clicker. I'm about to hit the clicker again. Accept. Oh, all right, I'm going to invite you, Dex, and then you accept me because it's acting like it doesn't want me to hit the button. It acts like it doesn't want me to hit the button. All right, Dex, where you at, sweet face? How is everybody doing today, lovelies? All right, Dex, where you at? All right, I hit it again. Dex, hit us in the well, you did hit us in the comments. All right, I see it there again. Looks like we're just having connection issues. It says you're unable to join, Dex. It says you are unable to join. So what I might do, guys, I think I'm going to log off and then try to come back on. Mm-hmm. Let's try. Let's try to accept you. Dex, it was like, Dex, you said I was ready today. IG said, and no, you're not. And no, you're not. Oh, it
There
says
we
you're
go.
joining. There we go. Finally. What is this about?
I don't. I kept seeing it come up, and then it would say like it came up multiple times, saying like, "Oh, they want you in the video." I said, "Okay, I want to be in the video. Let me in."
Everybody come on in, have a seat. How you doing, Dexter?
Really good, but like this angle is just not gonna work for me. I'll
I
figure it out while
feel
we're going.
like mine is too. Hey, Jay Ryder, what it
Jay Ryder
do?
just
Jay
got
Ryder.
Jay Ryder
Maybe
just got an award too.
he got an award. I'll just say that Jay Ryder throws some of the best events and parties in the city. So now that spring is spranging, it's time to get back outside, Jay. So you let me know where the next soiree is. And hopefully, well, I know usually venues you're connected with, they got the good vittles. So I'ma pull up because I need some good mussels. I want some good fries. Now, what the hell what the hell? What the hell? Who sang that song? I love it. This song I feel like what the hell is basically the sign of the times at this point in time. Dex, are you still there? You went dark, but then it says you're unable to join again. Are you just adjusting yourself that you go to the little boys' room? How is everybody doing today? Spring is finally trying to spring back on us. You know, winter pulled up for another week or so. It is a little chilly out right now. And child, thank you, Jay. I appreciate you. I today was wash day, so I'm to a state. I'm not sure exactly what I'm gonna do with my hair. I don't know if I'm gonna flatten it or curl it, but I'm in this thing. I'm not putting too much heat to it. Fitness Boxing. Hey, Ofa, I called you earlier. Hopefully, we can get on the call on the phone tomorrow. I hope you are feeling better, love bug. Um, Dex. Mm. Kim Rezel. Kim is real. Yeah. Y'all know I'm a little slow when it comes to these names now. Yes, girl, I am ready for some summer breaks. Hopefully I can go on a nice vacation this summer. I'm in the midst of planning it now with a couple of my girls. Adele, what the hell? It won't let you back on? Oh my, all right. Well, let me see if I can invite you again. Let's see. Accept. This is weird. All right. Dex, are you trying to get on your other page? Let's try this or not. Accept. All right. Dex, I'm going to try to accept your other page and see what happens. I'm going to send you the invite. All right, I just sent your other page the invite. Let's see what happens. Hey, TJ Madison, baby. The
Yeah.
hell?
They was hating, but they can't keep me down.
What the hell? What the hell? This is the song of the times. I'm telling you. But how do I get rid of this one now?
It shows that it's up there. On mine, it doesn't show up there.
So it's just looking like the two of us because on
Yeah.
mine it's
Yeah,
three.
it kicked me off. I don't know what happened.
That is so bizarre. What you done did?
Yeah, look, ain't no telling.
Ain't no thing. Yeah, I said, "Child, I'm ready for spring to spring. Hopefully I'll be able to do this girls trip this summer." And honestly, Dex, I don't. This will probably be the very first year, and God knows I need it. I am I am going on vacation by myself this year. How do you feel about self
You know I don't
vacations,
approve.
Dexter?
You know I'm not into that. I don't approve. I'm not into it. I don't like it.
You know what's funny? So at first I was like, where I'm going to go, because of course I'm not going far by myself. Like,
Right.
bitch, I'm not going to no Bali by myself. God bless y'all who do it, but that ain't me. So I was like, well, maybe I'll just go, because I really want to do like a
Okay.
wellness thing. So I was like, well, maybe I'll just go to like a Club Med in the islands or something. And then I started thinking about it. I said, girl, you by yourself if you don't sit your ass here in the States.
Oh, Sex Dr. Heather's on. She does do that. She just did it this summer,
Do
or
you not?
yeah.
Oh, Dr. Heather, we have to talk on the side, please, because I need help. I'm actually considering maybe desert like I
She
don't
does
know, but I just
Bali. She goes to Bali.
God bless you,
Yeah.
Dr. Heather. I ain't there yet. I feel like one point I might be able to go that far by myself, but I said let's start a little closer to home first, especially when it comes to these wellness retreats, because I'll be watching Lifetime movies and then that other stuff be going on. And yet they be going missing on these wellness retreats. So I'm like, well, if I'm gonna be missing, it's gonna happen on my home
Now
territory,
I don't know if she
not
goes.
nowhere
I
else.
don't think she goes by herself though.
Okay. No, well, that's what she
No, no,
said. That's what we're talking about, the
she was
self
talking about
trip.
Bali because I know she goes to Bali, but I don't think she goes by herself though.
Oh, okay, good. Because I mean, God bless. I see women. Your girl, Joy Trips, is one of the best that ever does it. She woman is so brave who will get on a flight and go wherever. So I live vicariously through Joy Trips. But I don't know. I need a plus one for certain stuff. But this will be the very first year. And I think I'm going to do it around the holiday season. I'm just going to go by myself and enjoy and get me some good wellness, some meditation, some clarity and peace.
She said she goes alone. Wow.
To
What?
Bali?
Yeah, you know what's crazy? Like when she does this, right? And I'm not. I don't mean this about her specifically, but I always assume that people go with other people. They just don't post the other person. How do you feel about that? Like going on a trip with someone, and it's just like you post as if it's just you by yourself on the trip.
I mean, well, I'm about to say, well, did they pay for my trip? But either way, it's my trip. That's what I want. I don't know. I think it's kind of weird. Like maybe if I go like with a group trip, I think it's kind of weird. Like if you don't post a night with some of the girls, I mean, every photo ain't going to be the group of everybody. But I know what some of y'all be doing. Y'all be letting them old men take y'all out to flip the bill.
But so I think it's actually worse with men than it is with
Oh God.
women.
Because men, they'll do the cover up you with a girl, but it could be any girl, but you hiding, but you sitting there still posting it on social media. So when you come home and one of them is sitting up waiting on you at the door to beat your ass, you asked for this, sweetie, because you wanted to be cute on the gram.
It's kind of one of those things where it's just like I could have been there with family. You don't know who I was with. I was just there. Could have been by myself. And like I don't know. I don't really subscribe to that. I think it's very like sneaky.
It's very sneaky. Like, what don't you want us to see? My thing is, if you don't want us to see, don't post anything. But you want us to see something, and then you want us, to ask questions. And I love the obligatory, everybody in my business, bitch,
You
what?
told
Like,
us.
you posted this on a public platform, which to me says you want questions asked. No.
Yeah.
So, yes, y'all stop being messy. But, Dexter, how are you today, my love?
Well, I'm really good today. I do have. I don't know if we want to get into this right away, but I do. I'm a little tired today.
Okay, let's just hit a little local stuff, and then it's like bad stuff. I want to get it
Okay.
out the way, and we'll get into it. Because I actually have a little back thing, a
Okay.
counter to your
Okay.
tired reason. Did you do the Andrew?
No, my ears like, it's just so bad. Like I feel like my allergies are acting crazy because it's happening here, and I feel like if I scratch here, it scratches the throat a little bit. My
Whatever.
eyes are watering. Like life is just lifing.
Life is life, and nerves be nerving. So do what you got to do to get you some sweet relief. Okay, as you guys saw today, unfortunately, we had another mass shooting, Florida State University. 20-year-old student. The shooter is in custody. The shooter. There are two people dead. Unfortunately, I think six other people have been hurt, injured. No words on that, but the two people who have passed away, unfortunately, may they rest in peace. They were not students. But the kicker is the pistol that was used was a pistol from a police officer because his mother is a deputy sheriff.
Wow.
So it's just Jesus, and they have him. He's he knows his Miranda rights. He used them, so he's like, I'm not saying anything, but I just don't know. Of course, they get a statement from our leader in charge, and he goes, "Oh, it's really sad. Such a devastation. Really sad." Okay. Then here in Philadelphia, unfortunately, there was news. I think it was last night or the night before last. A 77-year-old Uber driver unfortunately lost his life while picking up a fare in front of Byblos in Center
Uh-huh.
City, and that's actually a prominent like part of the city. A lot of
Hmm.
partying happening. You really don't hear a lot of stuff going on down there, but once they were running the video back, it's just sad to see you. To me, it looked like a setup. It was very strange, but it's just so sad to this 77-year-old man who they were like, his families were like, he just couldn't sit down. He was a worker and he just wanted to care for his people. But it is imperative because, catching Ubers a lot, and I love talking to the drivers. And there are so many that are like, yeah, I cut it off after a certain hour. I'm not even out there. And it's just sad that you have to think about that. But rest in peace to this man. And I think I saw somewhere around they had a GoFundMe set up to help out with his families and whatever costs that they might have to deal with. And New Jersey, shout out, you guys are doing something good. And this is the first time they're doing it. They are suing Discord, which is a social media app, and they are suing them due to being a child predator app. Apparently, they have no what is
Guidelines or restrictions.
yes, guidelines or restrictions to protect these children, and adults are like private messaging kids. The kids are like responding back
Hmm.
to them, but then also they added in at the end of the news report I was watching, I guess it was on 6 ABC, the app is really known for racism and terrorists.
Yeah, because
What
you know a
the
lot of
are your kids on this app?
you know a lot of those apps like and even like PlayStation and Xbox, it's like you're behind like literally behind a computer screen, so you can
Hmm.
do and say whatever and be whoever, and no one can say anything to you because they can't see you. They don't know who you are. So a lot of people do use that as like their little playground. Like a lot of them pose as children, even though they are adults, and like have conversations that are super inappropriate. That happens way too
It's
often.
disgusting. So Dexter, a little with my little sister, and she's 21 now, my baby. But I remember when she probably might have been about 9 or 10 years old. Her and her friends used to do like dance videos. This was way before TikTok, and I forgot which app they would post them on. Now, mind you, Dexter, this is a between the ages of 8 and 10 years old.
Hmm.
When we saw the views that she got, Dexter, it was probably like 40,000 views snatch. Because why the hell are 40,000 people involved in seeing a 8 to 10 year old little girl and her
Yes.
friends sit here and do dances?
Yep.
So for us, we shut that down ASAP. And you guys have to be much more vigilant with having, like, stop just giving your kids these devices and
Letting them have
just
at it.
letting them have at it. It's
Yep.
horrible. You got to do a better job when monitoring your kids and what apps that they are. And of course, you're not going to catch everything. Of course, sometimes they can find sneaky ways to get in. but you got to do your just diligence as a
But
parent and
and
make
some
sure
kids
what
aren't
your
even
kids are watching.
sneaking to do it.
No.
Like their parents are letting them do these
Hmm.
things and have no idea what the kids are into, and that to me is problematic.
Yeah, very much so. Okay, Dex, let's get into it, sweetie.
Okay,
Start.
I don't know. My setup today is just
What's going on? What you got on your shirt? Let me see. Wasn't that a brain?
just
What's going on?
letters, just like letters and
Oh, I'm like,
stuff.
but look, my eyesight is bad. I'm like, what's that? A brain? A dinosaur? I don't see no. I'm like, you got your daddy shirt on
No,
today.
but this is like letters and stuff like that. So
Okay.
earlier today I woke up and I was like, I am so tired. Like I'm really tired. And I saw this post on social media where a person that says she was saying something to the effect of, I'm so tired of parents saying that I'm tired and you're not tired. Like you chose to have kids or whatever, and that's the reason why you guys are tired and I'm not. And or that's the reason we both are tired. Like there's no level to tiredness. And like I now have an issue with it. I think that, to be honest with you, I feel like if you don't have children, like you can't say you're tired. Like if you don't have children, like you're not actually tired. You're not managing your time properly, or maybe you like, I don't know, are a little lazy, but you're not tired. Tired is, you can't be tired unless you have children.
Oh,
To me, saying I'm tired and you don't have children is like saying, oh, I'm overworked and you don't have a job. It's like the same thing. Like you only are tired if you have children. And that, and granted, I didn't always have a child. So like before, I used to say I'm tired, but I realized like that was ignorance on my part, saying that I was tired before having a child, because it's a total different level of tiredness. And like you sound crazy saying, oh, I'm tired, and you don't have no child. So like go to bed earlier. Stop being lazy and manage your time better. Then you won't be
Preacher
tired.
Miguel. Oh, boy became a parent 5 minutes, and now look at him switching up and chastising the people out here.
Yeah,
Well, guess what,
stop.
Dexter?
Y'all have to stop that.
Guess
Stop
what,
it.
Dexter? I'm very tired. And before we came here, but luckily, I'm one of the ones the child less right now. So I was able to take a good hour cat nap before
But I
before
mean,
I walked up on here.
yeah,
But as you know, this wife, so I the sleep schedule has been a bit off, and yes, I've been a bit tired, but you know what? Of course, it doesn't compare to what you guys are going through as a parent. And when I sleep well tonight, I wish you luck.
yeah, because I won't be sleeping so well tonight. And
It's
this is
my
the thing, too,
choice.
and I know, yeah, by choice. And it's crazy. Like I do understand why people will be like, "Oh, you can't say that, this, that, and the third." But like
Yeah.
realistically speaking, it is one of those things where, like, granted, people work overnight and they have situations going
Yes.
on or whatever. So I'm being funny, but like I do
Yes.
people have that stuff. However, like you're not dealing with a situation where like you go to bed at 7 o'clock p.m. because the baby goes to bed at 7 o'clock p.m. But then you wake up at 7:15 because they wake up at 7:15. Then you wake up again at 9 o'clock, and then you wake up again at 9:15, and then you wake up again at 10 o'clock, and then so it's like that level of just being like, oh, I'm tired. Like
Yes.
I be wanting to strangle people when they say that, because back in the day when I was quote unquote tired, it's because I was strolling social media to 3, 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yes.
There is no comparison. I do not touch a phone now. Like when the baby wakes up, I'm like, okay, let me do what I gotta do, and then I try to go right back to sleep. Y'all don't be managing your time
No, no, no.
properly.
No, Dexter. So we're gonna look at this with a different perspective. If anything, you're built for this because your sleep schedule prior to this was so damn chaotic. You were up at one point making cookies at 2:30 in the morning. So you have prepped for this. So at this point in time, and I know Fatima has not. She had a very, I'm sure she went through it with the baby, but you have years in on this. So for you, sweetie pie, no, we're not
But let
taking that excuse.
me just say,
Get up and go get the baby.
let me just tell you why it's different now, though. Because before it started during the pandemic, during the pandemic, I wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning. I probably make me a cocktail. I fry me up some chicken, like like cooking and stuff. The difference now is at 2 o'clock in the morning when I get up, I'm afraid to turn a light on. I'm afraid to breathe too hard. Like it is very like it's not the same. Before it was enjoyable. Now it's like you be up and it'd be like, Okay, well, let me whisper because I don't want the baby to wake up again.
Some things I'll even tell you, like sometimes I'm like, so lately I can tell because you know the baby, she's growing now. That I can hear her on the background in the phone sometimes. So I'm like, her real lungs, them real baby lungs ain't even kick in yet. So you ain't even get to that other level of like, woo, child, what is going on? But it's so funny. Hey, Bar Gadsden, my love, how you doing, sweet face Marjan? Birmingham's finest cleaner. One day we gonna get out over across the pond and visit you, friend. But it'll be funny because Dex, going back to what we were just talking about, I like me and Dex will sometimes during the day we'll call each other and we're talking on the phone. But lately I have noticed I'm like, I'll hear my boy over there, he like, I'm like, what is this whisper talking? What's going on? And then all of a sudden he's talking all low and I'm like, what's going on? He ain't never talked this low. And then I hear my niece, he put, about to give your ass hell.
Like, and you know what's crazy? I don't think I'm like a loud person, but I realize like, oh, I know what an inside voice is now. Like I for sure know what that is. Like,
But
oh,
no, Dexter, God bless you. This is a journey. And I will say, and it's like, even though she's like, I'm trolling, I know I'm being funny, but let's be very clear. There is no kind of tired that being a parent when you have a newborn child, well, there's no type of tire that compares to that, in my opinion. Now, I do not have children, but I have raised a few. Being the oldest of 9 kids, I was damn near the parent's nanny when it
mhm.
came to stuff. So I would do a couple of late nights, and just like I know, I will never forget the lungs when they switch. I will never forget it. My baby brother Christian, who's might be 26 now. So I was 13 when he was born, and I will never forget when those lungs hit because I think I was in a room and I had him, and he was like crying and just started screaming. And my mom, who came into the room, was like, "Oh my God!" Like she thought like he was
Something.
being hurt. She ran
Yeah.
in the room, panicked. Child, them lungs said, "Okay, we're here. We are fully grown now. Let's go,
Um,
mom."
okay, now I have another scenario for you though on
Okay.
the guy of children. And I saw
Mm-hmm.
this video. You sent me this video.
Yes.
There was a woman on the plane, and a child, someone else's child, came up and poked her with a fork on the plane. And the woman got pissed off. She took her shoe off. She was ready to handle business. And it made me think about it. So say you were at a relative's home, right? Not necessarily like your brother. Say you're at your
Yeah.
brother,
Yeah.
and you know your nieces and or nephew is walking around, and they start to curse and start to like spit at you. And let's just say at this time your siblings not around, but like your mom is there. Your mom is the one who's watching them, but your siblings not around, and you're witnessing this. What's your response?
Baby, now I got to switch over the tea for the wine. Let me take a sip real quick. Hold on.
Okay.
I am you. You got my blood in you. I am whip. Get your ass up over here.
You would hit the kid
I'm gonna give you. Wait, no cursing and what?
spitting at on
Oh,
you.
what the shit?
But
The
what if,
cursing I might have a good struck, but the spitting. Get your little ass over here with your little nasty self.
okay, what if the child's like under 5?
That's the worst age. That's when you really got to set them right because they're going to carry it over. By the time they get to 5, it's too damn late for this foolishness. Get your little ass up over here now.
You
You won't get the shit pinched out of you. What you
Oh wow.
talking about?
I feel like you can't touch another person's child.
Shit.
Like if the child's not there, I mean the parent's not there and the child does something wrong, I think your response to it is,
Oh.
okay, I'm gonna let your parents know what you did. Like that's what I would say to if the child's spitting and stuff, I would say, hey, please stop doing that, but I will I'm serious. I am gonna let your parents know that you're doing this when they get home.
You gonna tell the baby, please, the baby who running around like a hellion, like a damn hellraiser with the fork poking you the hell up. You gonna say, please, and spit on you, curse you out, and then spit on you, and you're gonna sit there and say, please stop
I would
doing
be
this.
like this specifically. Hey, please stop spitting on me and please stop cursing. But because you did that, I am going to tell your mom and dad when they get here. So whatever they do to you is what's going to happen to you. You should have stopped doing that. Because to me, it's one of those things like you can't put your hands on somebody else's child. I don't care if they're your blood. The only child that you're allowed to put your hands on is your own. Like you cannot chastise nobody else's child. You just can't do it.
Don't leave them around me because when Auntie TT pull up, I'm gonna be like that lady on that plane. That little girl, badass girl, had the damn Annabelle dress on. She pulled that slipper out. Now, where the lady was wrong, now I will say, because she was like, "You better effing get her." Like it was like she made a very nasty, disparaging remark. And it's like I understand that frustration. So I'm like, you don't talk to a kid like that. But at the end of the day, since your mammy and your daddy won't do it, come on over here so your adopted auntie can get you
You
together.
have to give them. You have to give the parents a permit. Like the parents don't know that it happened. Like you have to let them handle it because to be honest with you, what if they are raising a child that they want the child to be more expressive, and if the child feels like spitting is how they express
Well,
themselves?
you express that shit in your nasty ass home. When you come out here and open waters, anything is bound to happen. Okay, so y'all better hold tight to y'all little hellions out here.
Now, for me, the reason I don't do I've never done this. I've never hit anybody
Yeah,
else's
wait,
child. I just wouldn't.
Dr. Heather. Yeah, you can shake them, girl.
No,
Give them
you
a good
cannot.
shaking.
No, you cannot. For me, I've always been like, oh, I won't do this. I won't hit anybody else's kid because I wouldn't want somebody to do that to my child. I
Uh
want
huh.
you to let me know what my child did, and I'll handle them. But like, you just can't put your hands on my child. You can't do that.
Well, you keep. I love baby Dakota right there. Keep her in the house then. Keep her in the house. Put her in that chair. Strap her in.
But that's what I feel like. I always say to people, I watch my own baby because y'all feel like y'all need to put your hands on people's child, and
Mm-hmm.
I'll put one of y'all in the hospital.
So, look, we both me, you, and the baby gonna be in the hospital, man.
Okay.
The three of us. Look,
Okay.
checks together. And the funny thing, the baby gonna be okay. It's gonna be me and you tussling
Yeah.
with the black eye.
Wear you out. Like I'm gonna wear you out. Like,
I'm gonna look at the baby. I'm look at baby girl. See what I did to your
they gonna
daddy? Now do it again.
because when I come in and they be like, you be like, oh, I hit your baby. I'm saying, you did what? And you know who's the worst at this? Grandparents. They really think that they can hit your child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As a grandparent, I am the reason that you have arrived here. I wish you would over here. And you know Granny slow. Granny ain't got time for all of that. When she throw that bottle across that room, that you'll learn that.
Yeah, that means grandma probably shouldn't be watching the kids then. If you ain't got the patience to watch them, you
Yep.
shouldn't be doing it.
So why you dropping them off at Granny house then?
Well, look, I got to
Sat
go to work.
down and watch
I,
Wheel of Fortune.
I had to go to work.
Had to go to work. Somebody, well, listen, honestly, this really might be more of a thing of the future because, like we said before, Donald Trump and JD got in office. JD said, "We don't need no child care. You better, as grandparents, you better watch these kids.
He did say that. He did
So
say
get
that.
so get used to your kids getting slapped upside the back of their head every now and again because they won't sat down and watch Wheel of Fortune or Price is Right or
And
whatever is
look,
on."
that's another thing. I don't believe in screen time for like my child. Like I don't want people putting no screen in front of me. See, this is why I gotta watch my own child because I have too many rules and stuff like that. And like you're not gonna sit up and watch no Wheel of Fortune about like no, like get on the
Sit
ground and
down.
play with her.
Well,
Like
guess
she
what?
no.
The child predators can't get them on Wheel of Fortune, but they can get them on that Discord app that y'all sitting up there playing. So
Okay.
sit down here and watch Wheel of Fortune with Granny.
Last comment, Cristobal said neighbors used to grip us up back in the day
Mm-hmm.
and then tell them they did
Yeah,
it.
because what is you doing?
But
What is you doing?
and I swear this is the last thing, but this is why I don't like Generation X and like
Oh,
the baby
oh,
boomers to an extent too, because like they allowed these kind of things. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna post about that tomorrow. They allowed these kind of things, which to me is very problematic. To let your neighbor spank on your child, like, are you crazy? And
oh.
but then again, what do I expect? What do I expect from the same people who will put whiskey on their baby's gums? Like
Well, listen.
Generation X is the worst of the
How
worst.
the baby crying? You gotta wait till that teething hit. Just wait till that, cause first you're gonna get that lung cry. When the lungs fully develop, you're gonna get that cry. when that teething kit and that damn that you got the cold teething ring and you trying to cold,
Yeah.
calm Dakota down. Here you go, baby, take this, and she taking throw that shit
You
across the room
go
and
pick it
kicking and screaming. Get the old granddaddy, put her on the gums, baby, be all right.
yeah, yeah, the baby will sleep. They'll be like, oh, the whiskey puts the baby to sleep. And I'm like, hmm. I know what whiskey does to me, so I can only imagine what it's doing to a
Exactly.
baby.
It does to you because you be sitting there drinking the whole thing. All you just this how you do it, Dex. This take this the whiskey, go like that, and just you hit them. It's basically Ambisol. It's basically Ambisol, but Ambisol ain't gonna make the baby go to sleep good. Get you some old granddaddy, get you some good whiskey, and don't be giving the baby no bottom shelf because you really got to take care and make sure your generation is
Ooh.
all about this organic, high end product. So don't do no bottom shelf whiskey. Give the baby the good one. Just put it right on the gums. You and the baby gonna sleep all night. You ain't even gonna have. You remember how you said you was waking up every
Mhm.
hour on the hour, baby? You gonna sleep well that night. You and
And
baby
then,
girl.
when I go to the doctors, the pediatrician, they be like, "Oh, how'd you get the baby to sleep?" And then I'll be like, "Oh, I just rub a little whiskey on the gum."
What?
They'll be like, "Okay, well, you're going to jail."
What? And that's your problem because what you running in there, what your grandmama tell you? Them damn doctors don't know everything.
Like they be really be saying that is it's like it's crazy.
Getting up there reading them damn baby books. If you don't go get you a great grandmama, because you talking about wasting all this damn time, money, and energy.
Like the fact that you're saying, they really be saying this and they be dead serious too. I look at Crystal Ball said, "Look at us, we healthy and thriving, barely."
Yeah,
That's why all of us have. That's why all of us have drinking problems and drug problems. We was raised to have these issues. Gum, whiskey on my gum before I could even blink twice.
yeah. Look, my cousin said a little whiskey, honey, lemon. What cold? Knock that cold right out of that baby. Put it in the bottle.
Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Wow.
Don't worry. You send Dakota Ray to Auntie out, she gonna have a good time over here. She gonna be taken care of as long as she don't spit. Now I ain't gonna hurt the baby. We gonna tap. Them legs is getting tapped. Cause what is you doing? I'll be like, baby girl, you spit at your daddy. Cause I know you ain't spitting at Tima. You go over there and spit at Dexter. You don't come over here and spit at Auntie TT. Auntie TT gonna get them legs.
Oh my God, y'all something else.
Hey,
Look at Chris.
huh?
She said, "I don't drink." I bet you don't drink. You're scarred from it. You remember it.
Not scarred from it. Okay, since we're kind of still like on the parenthood thing, kind of, sort of, Tracy Ellis Ross recently did an interview. She was on Michelle Obama's podcast. The name evades me. I apologize, but she does the podcast with her brother. And the topic came up about, Tracy, I don't want to say being childless. I hate when people say that, but she doesn't have children and she's not married. So she got very candid and spoke about the grief that does come along with that. And I just thought it was such a beautiful, honest conversation that we really don't, get to see that side because usually a woman gets to a certain age, she doesn't have, a husband, there's no children, and people will put all these assumptions and labels on it and you start wondering. And what she said, it was just honest and it was beautiful. She was like, of course, like, yes, I want these things. I mean, of course, she's at the age now. I mean, she could still be a mother, possibly, with modern medicine, or, adoption is always an option, and a beautiful, option if you can do that. And then she talked about, being with the man. But at this time, she's like, listen, yes, these are the things that I want. I did not intend to get here. But at the same time, yes, I do want these things, but I'm not going to sit there and do this with the wrong person. So it was just beautiful, responsible of her to say that, and just very honest because so many people, especially a woman on her caliber, usually are like, you're afraid of being labeled and coming out with that. But it's very true. And then I also feel like, I mean, I have not reached the success as a Tracy Ellis Ross, but it does. I'm she's been 41 going on 42 before, and usually people you get to my age, you have had that. But then I feel like once you get past a certain age, I'm not going to sit here and have kids with no damn dummy just because I want to have a child. If anything, I would rather go to a damn sperm bank and get it done that way, or find me a good gay and say, hey, bestie, we going to do this and raise this baby together. But like, just to the thought of settling when you have created, even though this is what I do want, but I have created a beautiful life for self. It's kind of like, in a sense, selfish, I think. And well, one way of looking at it, it could be selfish to make that decision past a certain age if you don't feel as though you have the right things lined up in your favor. What say you, Dexter, on this?
I agree with what you said. I never liked this. I never liked the idea of forcing anybody into parenthood or marriages or relationships. I don't like
Mm-hmm.
it. I've seen it happen. I've seen
Yes.
people across the board. I've seen people with children, with husband, with failed relationships too,
Mm-hmm.
tell other people that they're doing something wrong
Woo!
because they're not married, they don't have a child,
Mm-hmm.
they're not in a relationship. And I remember, I don't think it happens as much anymore
Yeah.
because I think people speak up about it, but I remember before when people would be single during the holidays and people would like make it the talk
Wow.
of the town. Like, we're going to talk about how you can't keep a man, how you can't keep a woman, how you don't have a child, and this person and that person has
Mm-hmm.
that. And like, having these things personally myself, it's like one of those things, like, this is not like the end all be all. Like,
Yeah.
if you don't have children, if you don't get married, it's one of those things where it's like, count the blessings that you do
Yeah.
have, because
Yes.
marriage and children is, I mean, it's work. And it's actually a
Mm-hmm.
level of work that maybe some people just are not prepared to do. And it's cool and it's cute to be like, oh, I want to have kids, or I want to get married. But like, when you actually go and do it, like, you realize it's
Yes.
like, oh, like, this is work. It's almost like, to me, like school,
Yeah.
where it's like, oh, I want to go to school, and it's like easy to say it, but when you go, it's like, oh, I have to do something while I'm here. Like, this ain't
Mm-hmm.
just you have it and you move on. Like, I have this, I have to nurture this, take care of this, and then like if you do it with the wrong person, it's like I now have to do this in a way that wasn't how I planned to do it in the first place. So
Mm-hmm.
like, we got to stop that though. They're
Yes.
shaming people kids and not be in a relationship. We got to stop it. And I think that Tracy has the right idea, where it's just like, I'm still fulfilled in other ways. I
Mm-hmm.
don't need that. And I like that she was honest about it too, because I
Yes.
feel like some people, they're like, oh, I don't want no kids, and it's like, yes, you did, or
Thank you.
yes, you do, and it's
Yes.
okay that you don't have that. But at the end of the day, like, you still have other things going for yourself. Now, if you're sitting around here, you didn't have the kids that you wanted to have, and you ain't got nothing going on, you got nothing to like to do with your day to day, I don't know what to tell
Yeah.
you.
Like, well, I don't know because yeah, because I'm like, you ain't got
You
nothing. You ain't investing. Do
nothing.
yeah,
Like, you don't
that's a
buy,
bit.
you're nowhere. You're not happy with your job. Like, you don't got no friends. You don't take
Yes.
vacation. Nothing.
And shout out to them people who really hate when girls, like, I know people who hate girls trips. Like, they get together, like, especially 'cause I feel like most of the time you'll see them more frequently. And then some of the, women do have children, but some do not. But if I do not have children and I have a few members of my squad and we don't have kids, what the fuck am I supposed to do? Just sit in the house? Like, and
Like, I
I
mean,
really think it's misdirected, like, kind of envy, because
oh, for sure.
why do these people living their lives having a good time, they're not depending, they're not being a drain on society or somebody else, we're out here living, why does it bother you that this is
I think
happening?
it's funny because Crystal Ball said God's
Yes.
plan, and I think people weaponize that
Mhm.
though. Like, I think on one end of it, it's like, I'm a firm believer in everything is just not in God's plan. Like, maybe it just wasn't supposed to happen, or it wasn't supposed to happen like that. That's
Mhm.
how I view God's plan. But a lot of people really be like, God's plan is you're supposed to be fruitful and multiply. You're supposed to be
Yeah.
married. You're supposed to do this. That is the plan. If you don't do that, you're doing something wrong. And it's like, you are bringing religion into my life to shame me. Like, that is
Yes.
crazy.
Because that's another thing. and I always say, especially with women and even with men too, because you don't know. Infertility is a real thing for men and women. And you never know what someone else is going through or what their story. They might have tried, they might have miscarried a few times. Unfortunately, they can get pregnant, but they can't carry a child.
Hmm.
So you never know. So I just, and again, I've been on that side of going to the family holiday. When you gonna have a baby? You ain't got a baby yet. You ain't got a baby yet. And it's just like this has to stop now. After a certain age, it stopped because I think they just figured like, well, damn, bitch.
But you know, it's funny though because like currently we're going to family events now, and people are asking us when we're going to have a second child, and you have no
Ooh.
idea what the first pregnancy was like. Mind you, we're not
Mhm.
20. We're down to 40. Like
Yes.
we are picking out the plates in the house at 40 years old. Like we're knocking on that door.
Hmm.
And it's just like even being in our 30s or late 30s and having a child, like there's so many like terminologies, geriatric pregnancy and stuff like that. And it's like you want
Yes.
to do that again? Like when people say like, "Hey, this is it. Like I don't want to have no more children."
Hmm.
You got to respect it.
You got to. It is. And don't pressure
Cuz you
these
don't
people.
know
Stop.
why they're saying that.
Exactly. And a lot of people, honestly, they project and don't. And this is another thing.
They sure do, because this person told me that she has five
Woo!
kids, and I'm like, well, I wouldn't do that.
So that's exactly where I was about to get to. A lot of people will project. A lot of these motherfuckers be miserable as shit in their circumstances. And let's be honest, they kind of look at your life and it's like, ooh, like, nah, you need to come over and have some baby. Why? So I can be the fuck miserable and stress the fuck out like you?
And then people, when they're older, you forget like the stress that you were under when you had a newborn. Like right now, how I'm like, I can't sleep out every night like how I used to.
Mm-hmm.
3 years from now, I'll probably forget about this. And I'll
Yes.
probably be like, let's go do it again. And then you get that reminder. You don't remember how stressed you were when you first had your. You just don't remember. I'm convinced you don't remember
Thank
what you
you.
went through 30 years ago when you had your child.
Mm-hmm.
You don't remember it. So, like, when you put that on somebody else, like, you got to think about that. Like, what are they going to go through? Can they handle this? And I
Yes.
can't handle having another child. I cannot do it. I physically,
You
mentally, emotionally, and financially cannot do
Well, listen, we all are entitled. I hope that you buy. I'm not going to put that on you because I get it. But they do this thing. The body has a way, and people where you forget that chaos
Yeah,
to
you
do
do.
it again. So,
That's why
and
I like.
whatever God blesses you with, or whatever happens, I support your decision, Dexter.
That's why
I got one Lucy
I about
Poo.
this as much as I can because I want to always remember what I'm going through.
You said we ain't never look, and then you got the comments to document this just in case. Like, let me
Yeah,
get back into this
yeah,
archive.
yeah.
Marjan says when people are not paying your bills, they need to shut up. Let's go. Cause you be like, you gonna have a baby. Oh, well, you want if I need, especially if I'm doing this single by myself, there's no partner here. Are you going to be the intermittent
Like
partner? Are you going to be on the late nights with me? Are you going to doing the
that's
feeding schedules? Are you going to be doing all that? Cause ain't nobody gonna help you,
that's
Dexter.
what,
Ain't
that's what it
nobody.
is. That's what it is. I swear to God, people will be like, "I bought you Pampers. I bought you Pampers. I supported you. I helped you." Yes, but guess what? You never changed these diapers at 3 o'clock in the morning. Those Pampers that you bought me, I'm using them by myself. You know, we're using these. You didn't have. You didn't. You wasn't with us shooting in the gym.
You wasn't there shooting the club up. Exactly. So just be easy on people because you never know like what they are going through. And like myself, I will liken myself to Tracy in that regard. Yes, these are things that I want for myself. I absolutely do. But I look at it also, should God see fit? I'm doing the things. I'm waking up. I must be doing something right because the bitch keeps waking up in the morning. And I keep giving it the old good old college try, but at the same time, I'm not settling just for mess, just for the sake of saying I have a child and then risk a broken home and things that possibly come along with that. And when I choose to do it, if I have to do it outside of the traditional way, that is something I put real thought to it. And I said, you know what? I've set myself up in a space. I can do this. And hopefully, with a great village around me, a family and friends, we can get this done in the healthiest way possible.
Yes.
So keep
Well, Tori,
y'all keep hope alive,
well, I will say
ladies.
you said you have 9 brothers and sisters, and you were helpful in raising all of them. Like when it's your turn, y'all might as well get over here, take shifts,
Everybody,
get.
everybody.
Yeah.
But look, well, some people say because downstairs we're still a little bit in the parenthood thing. Because sleepovers are a big thing. Something just came out with Khloe Kardashian said that she cares. She does not allow her children to do sleepovers at all, not even her siblings. What say you on that? Like the siblings, the grandmom, like, and we've talked about this before regarding sleepovers, and it's just sad because I do understand the state of things today. And really those things were always there. They just weren't that publicized.
Yeah.
But for me growing up, sleepovers were such a huge part of like the growing up experience where I looked forward to it, whether we hosted the sleepovers or was at a friend's house. It was like part of childhood, a big part of it for me. So what say you on that? I think it's a bit weird with Khloe. Like, damn, she can't even go to camp. Well, I understand if them badass kids over there. I kind of get, I
Is
get
that
that.
like?
Like, no, they can come over here because I can tell your ass to sit the hell down. Or if your hellion ass is too much, you want to stab niggas with a fork. Tell your mammy, come pick that, come pick this demon up now. But what say you, especially being a new parent, with
I
this?
I okay, two things. One, I will say I align with Chloe 100%. I don't do sleepovers. But
Hey, entertain me. Sorry, go ahead.
it's crazy because growing up, I thought we did
Mm-hmm.
sleepovers. I thought that I was doing sleepovers. But I learned in my like adulthood that a sleepover means you actually sleep at the place. I did not know that growing up because I would get invited to these sleepovers, right? And we would go over
Uh
there.
huh.
Parents would stay too. And like we would, hang out or whatever. We have something to eat. We like talk a little bit or whatever, and then we go home. And I thought like everybody went home. I did not know that people actually slept at the place.
Wow.
Where I did not know that. So
But
like sleepover like that, I
hmm
would. But like sleeping overnight at somebody else's house, no, we're not doing that.
now, would you host sleepovers, or were you just like, no, it ain't
No,
happening? You ain't coming over here. You ain't going over there.
my parents never hosted sleepovers, and like I wouldn't.
Really?
No, yeah, I mean I would host sleepovers.
Like with the
I don't know.
cousins?
Huh?
Oh, hi, Nick Brand, Bill's Brand. Hey, sweet pea. She's a mommy of two. She says, I'd rather host the sleepover than know my kids are good and treated properly. Dex.
Um, no.
Okay.
Because to be honest with you, I think that a lot of issues when it comes to the sleepovers, it's not always just the adult figures that are there. It's
Mhm.
also like other kids too. And like I wouldn't even want to have that in my home. Like I would because then I would feel like I have to watch the kids all night long. Like I'm
Yeah.
like and like that level of paranoia, I just don't want that. So
Yeah.
I really not even host it myself. Like I'll do parties. I'll have people come over
Oh,
or whatever.
okay.
But your parents are the entire time that you're here, though. I don't want it to be one of those things where they drop you off and they go about their business. Because like I'm not going to do that. If you want my child to come, I'm there with them the entire time, and then I will take them home. Like I don't like
Well,
to like the.
what would, but even when it's your nieces and nephews, are you even to the point like no? Because for me, the Chloe thing that was extreme. Like I understand like the people who ain't blood, but for my nieces and nephews, shit, I don't have kids, and my nieces and nephews have stayed the night here because I'm babysitting them. I
I
just find that to be a little bit off.
I know this is going to sound crazy. I mean, I
Uh
agree
huh.
with her. I align with her, but like I would babysit overnight my nieces and
Okay.
nephews prior to having a child. Now that I have a child, I wouldn't do it.
Okay. Now, what makes sure? Well, first, before I forget, I love that your parents at least did a happy medium. Like they didn't allow you to miss out on the festivities. I'ma come over, but your ass ain't staying tonight. We gonna go home when some sleeping bags come out. And my cousin Crystal said that didn't allow it. My grandmother, Margaret Harmon, Margaret Odessa Harmon, God rest her soul. And you know what? Now that I think about it, Crystal, what? because even my cousins lived 2 doors down. But when we lived with my nana, we did not do sleepovers at all. But I guess my mom rallied against it once we moved away, and she like it wasn't all of the time, but she would allow us to do sleepovers, and it's probably because she was that kid that wasn't allowed to do it.
Hmm.
So,
Hmm.
but continue. I'm sorry.
Um, yeah, I wouldn't be comfortable with it. Like, just because I just feel like there's so many dangers out here, and like I hate even saying this about like family and kids and stuff like that. I just feel like there's so many dangers out here that like you have to go above and beyond to just protect your child in any way
Yeah.
possible. Even that does include a long time with cousins and stuff like that. So like
Mhm.
I'm with Chloe on that. And this is not like a judgment on anybody's
Yeah.
parenting or anything like that.
Do what's
It's like
best for you.
I just want to be I'd rather be safe than sorry. Like I just you just never know.
Yeah. No, I understand, and let's be clear. Just because a lot of times it's family does not mean they can be trusted a lot of the times, and
And I don't
especially.
even mean sometimes like I know when this conversation happens, it immediately goes into like a sexual thing.
Well,
And I
not.
don't
I'm talking about badass kids. Like y'all be jumping on the furniture at your house. We don't do that
like
shit over here.
yeah, like the influence is something that like it worries me a little bit in the conversations because I personally learned where babies come from an older cousin before my dad even had the conversation with me. So like he had the conversation with me when I was in fourth grade. I knew about this prior to that, and I
Mhm.
don't think no kid in second or third grade needs to
So,
know about sex, and I did.
because that's what y'all. Listen, I've been at those lunch tables. And here's the thing. So many parents also, which I love those parents who they're like, oh, I can't have this conversation because it's my baby, baby. They talking about it at the lunch table. Like, just
Like
stop
that's
this.
things like
You
that.
got to
That
get to them
is,
early.
I'm not afraid of that conversation at all because, like, again, I was in third grade. How old are you in third grade? You have to be like seven or
Yeah.
8 years old. Why do I need to know? Why do I know about sex at 7 or 8 years old? Like at that time, and
Mhm.
mind you, only thing I know about it is what I was told from a
Yeah.
child. They
Yep.
don't even know what sex is at that point. So like, I do think now,
Mhm.
unfortunately, we do have to tell our kids about
You
this
you
at
do.
7 or 8 years old. To be honest with you.
Because and it's asinine to not have these conversations with your kids, because especially once your kids are out of your domain, like it's luckily if you're one of those parents, you can stay with them until they go to school age, and they never had any socialization with other kids. But it's asinine to not protect them and have certain conversations with them, because where you won't, someone else will,
Yeah.
and you don't know. And that's the thing, you can control your household, but a lot of these kids, sometimes you don't know, they might be dealing with some type of sexual abuse or trauma themselves, and they're bringing it to them. And it's like a lot of times you'll see people like, oh, that's a grown ass kid. Well, most kids aren't really like that, but you're not asking the right questions. Why are they so hypersexualized? What is going on in that home? And you
And
can't monitor those conversations when your kids are outside. So again, it is imperative. You might think having these conversations at 7 or 8 is, oh, they're too young. No, they're not, because somebody is going to tell them, and it is your responsibility as a parent to get ahead of that.
absolutely, absolutely.
All right. Damn. Okay. Real quick, we went so long, and I'm so sorry. I didn't even keep track of the time, but I don't want to keep this going. I guess for the little topic, something had came up, and I want to bring it up before it kind of goes old news. So Wallow, which is Philadelphia's our crown jewel, him and Wallow and Gilly, they have their own podcast, but recently, um, they're always making headlines, but this time they made a headlines because Wallow was speaking somewhere, and he made what the conversation must have been black business, and he had so much fire behind it. I was like, damn, it was kind of a little angry. I said, well, what had happened? But he basically said, he goes, you shouldn't just blindly support black business. Like he's like, F all that. It doesn't matter if they are black. What matters to me if you have a good business or you don't. And the media kind of just everybody it created a conversation. And it's so funny because again, there was a lot of like fire behind it, but he's very, expressive when he speaks anyway. But part of it, dealing with black business, I'm sure it comes from personal experience and you do get sick of it. So a lot of the things what he was saying, like I kind of understand where he's coming from, but at the same time, how Latoya Shante Charleston, I will always support black until now. I will give it a good college try. You're black. I want you to win because it's not enough of us supporting each other. And let's be very clear. There are other races, religious sects where it's only black people who do this. Other people, I know Jewish people who are like, yeah, I only shop with Jewish people. Sorry, that's just what it is. And again, I think it's a cop out. Okay, you find one black business, okay, they don't do it well, and it's going to take time for us to catch up to where everyone else is. So you have to give extend of grace. So I will always support black, but at the same time, I'm not going to keep pouring my money into a shitty experience just because you are a black business. What say you next?
Um, I don't think he's wrong. I'm
No.
not one of those people that just blindly support a business because it's black owned, woman
Hmm.
owned, whatever. Well, I take that back. If my friends does a business, I will blindly support that. I don't
Hmm.
care. It's and whatever color they are. Like I'm
Yes.
gonna blindly support my friends in whatever they do legally, and sometimes illegally.
Hey, you grown.
So like yeah, of course I'm gonna blindly support them, but I'm really big on, especially with a platform like that he has, um, celebrating the things that you like versus bashing the things that you don't like. So if there's a
Yes.
like business that's not doing well, just cross them off your
Thank
list. Like
you.
you don't I don't have to talk about them. I don't gotta patronize them. Like I'm done with it. I'm not gonna do it.
Hmm.
But instead of saying like I'm not gonna blindly support black businesses, what if you just gave me a black business? If you do support them,
Yeah.
just gave me one that you do support, that you do think is doing something that you like or that you're into. Like I know we get on people a lot and we say like you don't have to support things just because they black, this, that, and the third, and you don't.
No.
But you also don't have to bash it either though.
No.
Because like I do remember him doing a giveaway one time and he picked Target to do it. And
Mhm.
Target's not really doing anything for black people. That's why they're losing money daily at this point. And like you still supported Target.
Mm.
So like when you say like I'm not supporting this business blindly, like you kind of are blindly. And he's not the
Mhm.
only one. We all are
No.
to an extent blindly supporting these big stores like Target and Walmart, so forth and so on. These people are doing things behind the scenes that we don't even know about. I'm shocked
So.
now DEI stuff actually came out and was public because there's been so many things
Mhm.
that these companies do that don't come out publicly. We
Yes.
never know that they do this stuff. So you can't say stuff
No.
like that and then like and then be a pillar within the black community. Like that just
Yes.
makes sense to me.
It's just asinine, and I understand the frustration because let's be clear, as black people, we have all experienced it. But it's one of them people. It's also the state of like this is family business, and for you to get up on this public platform, and again, we've only seen it. I don't know the full because again, all this stuff is out of context. I don't know the full duration of what was said. We just are going
Just
off of a quick
yeah.
15-second to 30-second clip. So it could have been more elements. So we can only judge off of what we've seen. And I just think that is just an asinine mindset to have. And that's one of the biggest things with us. If we constantly cannot stand, we cannot, we just need to have a level of solidarity no matter what is going on. And it's one of those things like on the public front, yeah, but then we could, nigga, get your ass over here. You ain't supposed to be doing stuff
Yeah.
like this. Like, why can't it be that? But just to have so much visceral against it, it doesn't make sense. And then on the other hand, Gucci has told, and other luxury designers has told y'all black asses they don't like you time and time again and make fools of you, and y'all running on down there. She kind of was crying during the pandemic. What
Ain't been
Gucci ever did to
what happened
y'all? Girl, child,
But
please.
you know, Toya, I mean, granted, I don't know a lot of Chinese people personally, but when I go into the Chinese restaurant, I never see Chinese people in there eating. I never see them in there. I see them working, but I
Mm,
never see them in there eating. But I also never see them say, like, I wouldn't be eating that. I
thank
never
you.
see that. So, like, why do we do that?
And they probably don't because they like y'all getting the counterfeit shit. Y'all getting that bullshit.
But
We having the best. You ever
regardless
go to
of
the Chinese restaurants and you see them eating like as a family together and they eating some shit that ain't on that menu? I be like, give me what y'all eating. I want that authentic shit. Don't give me this damn General Toast bullshit.
no, no, give me that, because I like that. Give me what I'm used to. Wait,
You are funny.
I do have one more question before
Go
we go,
ahead.
just real quick. Last week I caught the show with you and cousin Sheena, and I thought you guys did a phenomenal job.
Thank you.
And
Thank you,
and
cousin.
one of the conversations y'all were having was about black men dating outside of the race, right?
Okay.
I saw you guys. Somebody else must have saw this, and he made a comment about it, and I was just curious what you thought about that. Boosie comment, and he talked about black men dating white women and asking why they do this and so forth and so on. Boosie's somebody who's always in the news for
Yes.
not things that are positive. Like he's a little
Mm-hmm.
extra and not someone that you necessarily want to be an advocate for you.
Mm-hmm.
But he was aligning with something that you did agree with. So, like, what do you think about that message coming from him?
So here's the thing. I've all into context of what Boosie is. Now, even when Boosie says wild ass shit, I still love it, right or wrong. To me, Boosie is that wild ass cousin where it's like, this nigga mean good. He just don't know how to say things the right way. It's just edited right. But honestly, I'm here for it because it's one of those things. These are things that black women have, even whether you say it or not, it's something that's very apparent. It's a real thing. But it's nice to see at least another black man say, hey, what is up with this? Because too far do we see this where it's just bizarre to where black men overwhelming, not all, but they have this status of they feel as though it's this undertone of if it's something outside of black, and y'all love to say, oh, it looks exotic. Like, oh, there's something a little different. This is my type or preference. But why does that mean it has greater value than the woman or the man who birthed your black ass? So even though I don't want to say I'm fully in line with what Boosie says, but at least it's a conversation starter. And I do think that more black men need to ask each other. Like, now, not as far as Dr. Umar, what do you say? Snow, black queens forever, nobody's never. So, even though I do think that is like, it's ridiculous, I would love a real conversation with black men whose opinions where it's like, okay, I respect your opinion and I can get with that. At least it's bringing the conversation to the table because, yes, there is an underlying issue there that needs to be addressed. And when black women historically have brought it up, oh, this is why we don't like you black bitches. Y'all do too much. Y'all do this. Y'all too angry, this and that. But these white bitches over here killing y'all asses. So it like make it make sense. Again, also date who you want. I'm down with the swirl, but never have I ever felt the need to feel that if I just so happen to date a white man at the time, that he holds more stock than the man who birthed me and the men who raised me and the good men who, cultivated me, had, things of a part in cultivating the woman that I am today. But black men overwhelmingly, I don't know why. And honestly, it's a sickness. It really is. And it really does need to be studied more. But unfortunately, the messenger this time was our little special cousin Boosie.
I can respect that. I mean, I think maybe one day we can have like a longer conversation
Yeah.
about it.
Yes. And I think we actually should. We should probably set up, make this podcast or bring in a couple of forums of black men that, we, of course, you are a pillar, in my opinion, of the community. You have some
Not
sense. Bring my daddy on. And I would love to maybe bring a black man on who is open to dating and primarily dates white women or outside of black. Because I think the conversation really does need to be had. But on that same hint, love who you love, y'all. Because at the same thing, you ain't having sex with a damn horse. We're all fucking people. This thing of race really does not exist, yet we all subscribe to it. So there you go.
Love who you love. But I think this was excellent. I think this is probably a good time to put a pin in it
Yeah, because
until
we went
next week.
long.
See, this feels great. It felt great. Marjorie said she should bring Robin. I think
I
that'll be perfect.
think that would be absolutely perfect, Marjan. So when we are ready to have this conversation, and we can do it on here, but when we are ready to have this conversation, because you know me, Dexter, I like to align a good smorgasbord. You can't just come out blindly having conversation, because that does nothing.
Yeah, just give me an idea too,
Okay.
guys. We definitely are going to put this together. We have some ideas coming up, and like we really appreciate you guys for listening to
Yes.
us talk about
Yes.
BS.
Yes.
I'm really blessed to have this platform with Latoya. She just told me that I was a pillar in the
You
community.
are, Dexter.
I'm going to go ahead and go to Chipotle with my head held high. And we appreciate you guys for tuning in for another week of the comments.
Bye, lovely. See, well, at Just Work, we might not be on next week, but if we are, it's still up in the air. But we will let you know if we are not on.
And also, happy Easter, happy Resurrection,
Yes.
happy 420, happy WrestleMania week.
All
hope you
of
guys
it. Come
whatever it
on,
is that
Jax.
you are celebrating.
Have a good one, lovelies. Bye.